Shalom. Testing, testing.
Shalom.
All right, come. All right, so Shalom, Shalom. I would like to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Hudash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us His truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Back here with another camp lesson, man. Was unable to go on the highways and the byways today due to it raining all day. It's been raining pretty bad, so I'm just gonna be doing my lesson inside. But nonetheless, the work still gotta come out, man. So, but yeah, I just want to clarify that it's been raining all day. It's been raining pretty bad, but it's not supposed to start raining till a little bit later. So, yeah, man. But nonetheless, like I said, we still gonna be reporting, and hey, we still here, man. So we got a duty and we got to do it. So, but I want to go ahead and open the lesson off with this. I have the title as Current Events. And I'm basically going to be going over some things that I seen in the news that popped up on my feed. I'm going to be sharing them on this platform. This is my first time going live on here, which is pretty cool. So I want to go ahead and start the lesson off by getting this precept, though. So this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. And it reads, let's superimpose this. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Let's go ahead and go to the next verse. And the point, then shalt thou understand that it is the very time, the very same time, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? So that's what we're doing, man. We're measuring these times diligently with the things going on in the world. And in the news, you'll see when I get these articles, it seems like every day, man, it's breaking news. There's something going on, good, bad, or ugly. All right. So let's get on to verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? It even says, if we jump down to verse 13, why these things are going on, we can get verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, which is talking about the wicked. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the wicked because that's really concerning Esau, Edom, but the 2/3, the wicked Jakes. How about that? That would be concerning them. And they that have loathed my law, meaning hated it, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, right? So you gotta realize, man, we always say this, we're in the times of Noah, right? Noah. When Noah was building the ark, the Lord put the spirit on Noah to go out and warn people, right? He told people, and it was a grace period for 120 years before the flood actually happened. So a generation is between 20 to 30, maybe even 40 years, right? So let's just do the math. If we think in 20 years, 120 divided by 20, that's 6 generations, right? If we do 30 years, 120 divided by 30, that's 4 generations. 120 divided by 30 is 4 generations. And then 120 divided by 40, that's 3 generations. So 3 to 6 generations passed. That was a grace period from 3 to 6 generations, 120 years. And our people still did not consider that the Lord was going to come down and destroy his people, the people on earth, for their wickedness. We're in them same times today. So, as the prophet said, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and Lord willing, we're at that number, the elect, the 144,000 mighty man. We've been put back on the earth to warn the people, right, of the coming judgment that's about to that's about to take place on the earth. Jacob's trouble, right? The MOTB, okay, the second death, all of these prophecies that are about to come to pass in our generation, right? Let me get this. Salaki. Kind of the water for the water y'all watching y'all shine. And thank you for bearing with me. All right, so this is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 5. Behold ye among the heathen and regard. We can get verse 1. This is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 1. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear me? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. All right, so as it says in the book of what is that? I want to say 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 8, where it says Lot lived around the wicked and he was mourning, he was vexed by it, right? And there's also scriptures that talk about, us men who were trying to be righteous, mourning, sighing, and crying for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, for Yahweh to return, right? So it says, O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear me? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Now, I'm not saying that we're crying out and the Lord's not hearing us, because the Lord definitely is hearing us. But we have to wait, man. We have to be patient. It's for an appointed time. Why dost thou shew me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. Right? Wherefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. So it's basically saying, man, and I'm gonna get these two in a different translation, but basically this is saying there's wickedness going on, and he's basically seeing this take place, but there's no punishment going forth for these people that are doing this, and the wickedness is getting increased. And it says, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. Right? It's always this. And I've spoken on this before, right? All right, Psalm chapter 10 and verse 1 going on. Right? It seemed like because we're in this wicked kingdom, that the wicked are able to continually get away with wicked acts, and it seems as if they're going unpunished, right? Before, as for us, we get held to a higher standard. So if we try and do the same things that they did, we wouldn't get away with it, right? Because the Lord holds us to a higher standard, right? Rightfully so, man. We've been selected, we've been chosen among the flock, and you shouldn't take that for granted at all. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth, right? So sometimes you have people who are affected by these things, even though they might have not did it. That's what they're saying. All right, so let me get that. Let me change that to the NLT real quick, and then I'll get my point. Must I forever see these evil deeds? Why must I watch all this misery? Wherever I look, I see destruction and violence. I am surrounded by people who love to argue and fight. And that sounds like Jake. The law has become paralyzed, and there is no justice in the courts. The wicked far outnumber the righteous, so that justice has become perverted. Right? The 2/3 always outnumber the 1/3, man. So it says, this is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 5, and this is my point. Going back to the grace period, us going out and telling people and whatnot, and it happening in our generation, in our time period. Because you'll have people who say, oh, we're at the end, but that's not going to happen in our lifetime. Behold, ye among the heathen in regard, and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. Right? So even then, this wickedness is not just going out from our people. It's going out from all the nations that we are around right now in America, right? Especially the Edomites. They showing just how violent they are as a people through Israel bombing places, through America helping them, through Ukraine and Russia, and so on, man. It's like almost like a never-ending cycle. But that's what they that's what they were blessed with, man. The sword. So their violence is gonna ooze out of them, right? As it says, man, they violence covered them as a garment. So let me see. All right. So let me make sure I'm back on my topic. Oh yeah, Con. So now that I got that, let me reread this. This is the reason why I even pulled that verse out. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it. Right. So we're in the grace period right now, still, until shit goes down. And as we always say, man, it's no better time than the present to repent, turn back to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and take heed. Because there's no telling when this is about to go down. Like I said, every day we're getting closer and closer to the kingdom. And every day we're seeing worse and worse stuff in the news. But those who don't consider this is what's going to happen to them. The same must know after death by pain. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is and for whom the world is created. So that was my point, man. All these things that's going on in the world right now, it's all happening for a reason, man. The world was created for the righteous. The world was created for Yahweh Shai to dwell and rule it, man. When he came down, not as King Solomon, but as Yahweh Shai, as Hamashiach, right? All of that was meant to happen. He was supposed to be crucified and whatnot. He was supposed to carry the burden of our sins on his back, right? That's why it says when he comes back that he's not going to meet thee as a man, right? His enemies aren't going to be able to kill him like they once were before. And he's coming back seeking vengeance, man. He's not coming back on no peaceful shit. Let me get that. All right, this is Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. Let me get this in the red letter. Salaki. So y'all know that Yahweh is saying this. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I'm come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. And we're seeing this take place right now, man. Variance, division. This is the divided kingdom that we're in. Everything is divided, man. Households are splitting up, right? Let me get this. I just seen this in the news. A man got beat to death trying to defend his child, man. But nonetheless, man, let me go ahead and I don't want to waste my time trying to find that article. I actually might be able to find it though. Let me see real quick. Nah, that might be gone. Here it is. Father brutally beaten to death with baseball bat and flashlight after stepping in to protect daughter from assault. And I know y'all thinking, well, how does that go into variance, right? Division and whatnot. Let me see. Quite frankly, it don't, but I just wanted to bring it up. He was trying to protect his daughter, and the nigga got beat to death, man. Ultimately, that's judgment, but at the same time, there's plenty of examples of variance through our households, man. It don't just have to be households, right? Now, something big did happen in the news today, and I want to get that. Just it's funny to me. Here it is. Damn it! I did not mean to do that. Well, I can't go back. Oh, it's a lot. I just did it again. It says Warren Buffett criticized tariffs and says that trade should not be used as a weapon, right? And I seen this article earlier, not the specific one, but a headline regarding this. It says Warren Buffett criticized tariffs during his Q&A at Berkshire Hathaway's annual meeting on Saturday. Trade should not be a weapon, Buffett told investors in Omaha. Buffett did not mention Donald Trump by name while hitting out at tariffs. Uh, Warren Buffett hit out at Donald Trump's global trade war on Saturday, saying trade should not be a weapon. Speaking at Berkshire Hathaway's annual meeting in Omaha, Nebraska, he did not mention him directly. Let me see. First question: trade should not be a weapon. He said Buffett called the policies a big mistake, warning that protectionist policies could have negative repercussions for the U.S. Right now, if I go ahead and get this other article that I seen, let me see. I'll save this one. And this has just been a talk that's been going on right throughout this week, really. It says Americans face empty shells within weeks, right? It's a possibility. Salakia, man, I forgot to declare the I forgot to declare. I did not mean to do that. Copyright disclaimer 1976. Fair use, fair use. I'm not using any of these articles that I am going over for monetary gain or anything like that. This video is not monetized. I'm not making any money off of it or from it. I'm simply using these articles as tools for educational purposes, edification. All right, so I know I said that late, but they're just gonna have to deal with it. It is what it is. Hopefully this video don't get taken down, but pause, motherfucker. You know what? It's fine. I'm not about to show this. All right. So it says Americans face empty shelves within weeks, which it really should say could. It really should say Americans could. It says a sharp decline in imports driven by the. No, I'm not gonna get into it right now. Let me just finish this one thing at a time. He said he called the policies a big mistake. Now I brought up that other article just to show y'all, right, what those tariffs could lead to, right? That could be a big mistake, right? So it's a training ticker on Berkshire Hathaway. Probably because the nigga he said he's about to step down, which is the next article I'm gonna get. But the one thing that this shit could have an impact on, which it already has, is food, right? And more importantly, a famine, which we've been talking about that. All right, the price of goods has been going up, so it's gonna be harder for people to buy food. Then also, they stopped like shipping food in general into the United States with the ports and whatnot. That's been slow. You've had credit card or bank companies not allowing their customers to access their ATMs and whatnot, which I don't want to get off too. Why is this dude drinking a bottle of olive oil, man? I do think that also it could lead to recession. That's what I was trying to say. And that's really it's going to be worse than a recession, economic collapse. I do think that the most prosperous the rest of the world becomes, it won't be at our expense. The more prosperous, I said the more prosperous will become, and the safer we'll feel, and your children will feel someday. Buffett added. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's wise. He said the United States won. I mean, we have become an incredible, important country starting from nothing 250 years ago, right? And they coming upon that 50th year next July 4th, man. 2026. There's not been anything like it. Mm-hmm. Oh, damn, I didn't mean to click off that. Fuck it. It's all good. All right. I'm going to get 14 and I'm going to get 18. All right. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 16. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people. saying with a loud voice, fear the Most High power and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. It's like this was the brother was talking about last night. For they are virgins, those who didn't take the mark, the one of 44,000, the mighty man. All right, this is verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Right? So he's saying that there's a great city, that they're a great country, and they've made it. Let's just do this. And they've made it so far in 250 years, right? Well, that great city is about to cease, man. It's about to come down. It's about to be destroyed through judgment from the Heavenly Father. Babylon is fallen. Why? Because of the iniquity, because of the wickedness that is spread throughout the land. All right, this is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. Oh, let's get this. Actually, man, this is good. 18 and 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. Right? That's that Obadiah 1 and 3, man. Who shall bring us down? Who shall defeat us, man? They have that spirit of them, that spirit of pride. It's just in them, man. It's a spirit of pride, man. They don't consider being humble at all, right? They don't know what it means to be humble. But the Lord is about to humble them. As it said in what was that, Daniel? I can't remember what chapter. It might have been Daniel 5 or Daniel 6, where he said, then he knew that the Most High dwelleth and ruleth or not dwelleth, but rules in the kingdom of men. He had to humble the king. That's what's about to happen, man. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with the fire. For strong is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who judges her. Right? Because he's going to bring forth his judgment through his only begotten son, man, Yahweh Shai. Now, that's why you see all of these things going on around America or in these other countries, man, because shit has already hit the fan in these other countries, man. We already seeing death, destruction, famine, earthquakes, all of this, blackouts, right? It's all full out chaos, man. And you got to realize though, that's on a smaller scale, right? Because those countries they ultimately gonna be judged, but no country gonna be judged like Babylon, man, like America. That's why it says, like I just read, man, they shit gonna come way worse. It's gonna be way worse. This is the land of the wicked, right? They shall be known as the border of wickedness. Let's start at verse 2, man. Malachi 1 and 2, I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Right? So right now, the Lord has them in a position where they're in rulership, but their rulership is coming to an end. Their kingdom is crumbling. They've had their turn, man. It's coming to an end. They just don't. They, they don't want to give it up, but ultimately they're not gonna have a choice. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahweh will be magnified from the border of Israel, right? His name going to be magnified throughout the land. I want to get that in the NLT because it's going to show you. Esau's descendants in Edom may say, we have been shattered, but we will rebuild the ruins. But the Lord of heaven's armies, Yahweh replies, they may try to rebuild, but I will demolish them again. Their country will be known as the land of wickedness. And that's where we're at right now, America. America is the land of wickedness. If your spirit can receive it, man, and if you can't see that, you're spiritually blinded. All the things that go on in America, just think of any of the things that go on over here, all the atrocities that this man has committed. And you can't tell me that this ain't the most wicked nation on earth. And their people will be called the people with whom the Lord Yahweh is forever angry. Okay? Now going back to my point. This is verse 9. And the kings of the earth, this is my point. Or no, Salakia. Verse 10 is my point. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, right? Because they're going to see it. They're going to feel sorry, right? You go to Jeremiah 51:9. It talks about them mourning for her and Babylon being saved. We could have saved Babylon. We could have healed her, but she is not healed, right? Those countries are also going to see judgment as well. But like I said, it's not going to be on as brutal as Babylon, as America, right? Because they're not innocent either. As we just read, they drank of that same cup, right? America's wickedness spread to the other nations as well. Standing afar off, here's my point, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Right? And let's go to the next verse, to the next chapter, Salaki. And after those things, I heard a great voice. This is Revelation 19:1. Of much people in heaven saying, Alleluia, salvation and glory and honor and power unto the Lord our God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. For true and righteous are his judgments. Right? So can't nobody say, oh, well, why is the Lord doing this to them? And why is the Lord doing that to them? You look at all the things that they've done throughout history up until today, right now. And you tell me they don't deserve all the shit that's coming to them and then some, right? They're over there killing innocent women and children right now. Right now. But they don't deserve punishment. That's why it says, for true and righteous are his judgments, because they deserve it. It's not like the Lord is being unfair with their punishment. No, it's well deserved. For true and righteous are his punishments, for he hath judged the great whore, Babylon, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and have avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. Right? And the servants are the prophets, the 144,000, man, the elect, the hopeful elect, man. Lord willing, we be at that number. So I got into it a little bit, but let me go back to the article. It's locked. Actually, I take that back. That's the spirit, man. The comments are his most direct. Yet on the global trade was sparked by Trump's imposition of sweeping tariffs at the beginning of April. Buffett's comments came after the company reported that its first quarter profits fell by around 14% compared to 2024 to $9.6 billion, while its cash stockpile rose to more than 347 billion, right? We're in that kingdom, man. They're being prosperous, right there. They're seeing lots of prosperity. And us as Jakes, we don't get to see shit like that. So it's just also showing you another example of who the rulers are in this kingdom. A Jake ain't gonna never be able to touch as much money as no damn Edomite. And that's a fact. Buffett's in this kingdom, Buffett's holding company, Berkshire Hathaway, has surged despite volatile financial markets since Trump's election last year. The conglomerate the conglomerate is up more than 20% since Trump won victory on November 5th, in spite of the S&P 500 being down almost 2%. Trump's administration has imposed tariffs of 145% on China, which were countered with retaliatory Chinese levies of 125%. Okay, now I want to go to this. Maybe it's nope. Okay, let me see. Make sure I don't have no comment or nothing like that. All right, I'm good. Now I want to go to this. So he said that. And now it says, I don't know why I can't get this big ass ad off my screen, but it's okay. Warren Buffett plans to step down. Warren Buffett plans to step down as Berkshire CEO at year end. Now, I'm about to say Warren Buffett old as shit, man. Warren Buffett stunned the investing world Saturday by revealing his plans to step down as Berkshire Hathaway's chief executive. And matter of fact, I want to get this precept, Salaki. I think it's 2 P's, pressers. Oh, this because it's in the NLT. Here it is. All right, we can get Isaiah 3:3, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Right? And we're seeing that with the ruler that is above us right now, this nigga Donald Trump. The decisions that he's making and the things that he's doing, right? Like I said, he just cut, I believe, 20,000 UPS workers and is planning to shut down 70 UPS stores. But that's nothing though. If you just look at all the other shit that he's been doing with this trade, with the trade wars and all that stuff, the tariffs, he been cutting government, right? It's a matter of fact. What did he just do? He just cut government taxpayer dollars for these news companies, PBS and NPR. Uh, it says he seeks to end a federal funding, right? And then he's also been trying to make it legal to. It said Trump signs executive order to slash taxpayer funds to PBS, NPR radical woke program propaganda, and then he also trying to make it cool to deport to deport U.S. citizens. Let me get this. Yeah, I know I wasn't tripping, man. Salaki. Let me go jump down. Isaiah 13 and Salaki, Isaiah 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Right? We have childish leaders, leaders with no type of wisdom, right? As it says in the scriptures, man, I will seek to destroy the wise men of Edom, right? And wisdom is departed from Esau, man. Continually, they're gradually going back to their natural state, right? As the basis of men. I can't help but every time somebody brings that up, it's like I'm trying to I can't help but think of that compilation of them Edomite women and men talking about how they talking about they personal hygiene. I could go into that, but I'm just go back to this article real quick. Reveal his plans to step down as Berkshire Hathaway's chief executive officer at year end and hands the reins to handpick successor Greg Abel. 94-year-old investor closed the annual meeting of the company he built into one of the nation's largest, with the surprise announcement that he will recommend to Berkshire board that Abel begin the CEO job 26. Time has arrived, he said, where Greg should become the chief executive officer of the company at year's end. And with that, one of the greatest and longest running shows in American capitalism entered its final months. Gosh, I shouldn't even know a little bit of booty on the screen. I wasn't about to read that whole article. Now we can go back to this. When was this article brought out? April 25th. This ain't the one I seen earlier. Oh yeah, here it is. A sharp decline in imports driven by the administration's trade policies could lead to empty store shelves in May. Port authorities have warned of a precipitous decline in shipping volumes into the U.S., noting that several major retailers were stopping all shipments from China based on the tariffs. One economist, speaking to Newsweek, likened it to the first effect of the Sea video. President Donald Trump's tariffs, it says why it matters. His tariffs, in particular, the staggering rates placed on Chinese imports threaten to raise the cost of importing goods in the U.S. As a result of the expected drop in trans Trans-Pacific shipments, concern has grown that retailers will be unable to ensure sufficient product availability to meet customer demand. Right now, I just seen another article that popped up earlier. Let me see if I can get this real quick. This is regarding the Moab Chinese. It ain't getting no better for these suckers, man. Here it is. China's 11,000-ton nuclear submarine with 6,000-mile range missiles poses threat to U.S. Now, if y'all are unaware, if we just look at a map of the Earth, or no, Salakia, go on Google Earth. God damn, can I type? Because I don't think people really understand how close China and Russia really are. To America. Right, so if this is the U.S., this is the United States. This is Russia right here. This is Russia. This is there we go. This is China. When people look at it, they think of it as I can't rotate this motherfucker. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's probably because I don't got my mouse. I don't feel like going to get it right now though. There we go. Yeah, so when people look at the map, they think of it as United States over here, and then they go all the way over here as if Russia's that far. But really, if you look at it from the top, man, this is the United States down here. This is Russia right here. It looks like it's all broken up, but this is all Russia, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this is Alaska right here. And this is still Russia. That's not, they have like a whole little, like a little ass island in between them and like bases right here. So we're really not that far from Russia at all. And then same for China, man. China got a missile that could, I believe Russia has a missile that could come over here in like 30 minutes. China's right here. It's not that far, man. So, but hey, all the stuff, and this is just another part of Esau, just the wisdom, leaving Edom, man. Yeah. It was a point in time where shit used to be made in the US. What did I say, man? It's been before that. Let's read. Between 2000 and 2010, between 2000 and 2010, the United States lost nearly 6 million jobs in manufacturing. That's my time period. With sectors like textiles and furniture being hit the hardest, the decline in manufacturing jobs has been ongoing since the mid to late 1960s, driven by factors such as global competition and rising inflation. Now, I've been saying this, man. The decline of America did not just start in 2020, right? It definitely got way worse in 2020. But the decline of America been going on since like the 50s and the 60s, right? And it started getting even worse when the elder Abba Bivens came on this. The elder Abba Bivens came on the scene, right? Because that's when we started waking up and remembering ourselves. But this has been going on, right? So I'm gonna get this scripture because as a country, why would you? It would make sense for you to fight and try and have your own resources in your own country. Wouldn't that make sense? All the other countries do that, so that they don't. If something fails, they don't have to rely on other countries. They got their own shit. But in America, America is Americans are so lazy, man. They don't have nothing. They just leech off of other people. They use other people's shit. That's what they do. That's what they're good for. They go around, take other people's things, and claim it's theirs. All right, this is Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. Okay, let me get that word Teman, because Teman was a place that was often associated with wisdom. South, son of Eliphaz, grandson of Esau, and the one of the dukes of Edom, the tribe descended from one noted for the wisdom of its people, right? And if you even Google that, Teman was a land that was, like I said, associated with wisdom. The region occupied by the descendants of one located east of Idumea, which Idumea is just the Greek way to say Edom.
Strong's H 8487. Taman. Taman.
Taman. I knew a Taman back in the day. No, let me stop playing. Flee ye, turn back, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. Right? So they're not gonna go unpunished for their iniquities, man. Go read the book of Amos, chapter 9. That's a good and short read, a good nice short read that you all can go and search out. That explains that there is no running from judgment. There is no escaping the inevitable. Dedan, Low Country.
Strong's H 1719. Dedan. Dedan.
So Taman and Dedan. Low Country, the son of Ra'amah, and grandson of Cush. So it's talking about the Cushites were, I want to say Ethiopia. But nonetheless, that's talking about Hamites. A son of Jokshan and grandson of Keturah. Also, number 2, a place in South Arabia. So I would assume it's talking about number 2 because it's locative. And in this sense, it's talking about a location. Yep, inhabitants of Dedan. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. Esau is continually getting exposed daily. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. And we can continue and read to verse 13, and I'm going to go back. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. And this is what the Lord says: if the innocent must suffer, how much more must you? You will not go unpunished. You must drink this cup of judgment. So, like I said, man, Edom gonna face judgment from the Lord, man. And as the scriptures read, it is a terrible, terrible thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. Al-Shadia, the almighty power, demon-like power. There is none that can deliver you out of his hands. None, nobody. No matter how much pleading you do, especially Esau, Edom, their track record is horrendous. Horrendous. There is no getting out of this, man. There is no getting out of this, man. Your time has come. There's no way out of this one. You're done. I have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. Oh, Salaki, I done read past. Salaki, I skipped over verse 13. I said I was going to finish at verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra, which was the capital of Edom, back in the ancient days. Let me get that. Sheepfold or fortress, a town in Edom, a town in Moab, but it's not talking about Moab. It's talking about Edom. Let's get that.
Strong's H1224. Botzra. Botzra.
Botzra. Botzra. A place in Edom. And if you go into the Salaki, let me go grab this real quick just so I can make sure I'm correct. And I'm not telling y'all nothing that's not true. I want to make sure I'm correct in saying this because I said it was the capital. I make sure I'm correct. So I'm reading out y'all can see that. All right. Just making sure. Okay. So I'm reading out the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. All right, Khan. It was not the capital. Let me think. Let me look this up. I must be thinking about a different city. What was the capital of Edom? Selah. Okay, Khan. Botzra was a city in Edom, not the capital. So Salaki for that. Yep, it says it right here. city of Edom, city of Moab, right? And it shows the precepts. So I'm glad I double checked that. But nonetheless, we know that this is talking about Edom, the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man. All right, we're at verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh. So he put this on himself, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. So the Lord is going to lay the land desolate. These Edomites, that land is going to be desolate, man. America, Babylon the Great will never be inhabited again. And Edomites are going to see judgment throughout the earth, not just the ones on this side, not just the ones in the west. Edomites all over. So I'm going to get this. Speaking with CNBC this week, Port of Los Angeles Executive Director Gene Soroka said he anticipates next week's incoming cargo volume to drop by over a third compared to 2024. According to our own port optimizer, which measures the loadings in Asia, will be down just a little bit over 35% next week compared to last year, Soroka said, and it's a precipitous drop in volume and a number of major American retailers stopping all shipments from China based on the tariffs. Soroka added that in addition to the reduction in volumes, he expects around a quarter of typically scheduled ship arrivals to be canceled in May. The number of Asia-U.S. blank sailings, port calls, or voyages canceled by the carrier has risen drastically, according to a recent report from maritime data platform Sea Intelligence. For shipment schedules to take place April 14th to May 11th, that date again, May 11th. That's not the first time I heard that. It found that blank sailings had increased from the equivalent of about 60,000 containers in late March to 368,000 by the second week of April. In the Institute of Supply Management's latest Manufacturing and Purchasing Managers Index, respondents highlighted concerns over the tariffs' impact on shipments and operations. Business climate is apprehensive, and with tariff costs implemented, all inbound Chinese shipments are on hold. One wrote, "It is not feasible for our business or customers to sustain the pricing required to provide an acceptable margin." So it says, what are the people saying? What people are saying? Gene Soroka told CNBC, realistically speaking, until some accord or framework can be reached with China, the volume coming out of there, save a couple of different commodities, will be very light at best. This is Donald Trump in response to concerns over empty shelves. Somebody said, "Oh, the shelves are going to be empty." I heard this nigga say this shit. Well, maybe the children will have two dolls instead of 30 dolls, and maybe the 2 dolls will cost a couple of bucks more, right? Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent asked whether he was concerned about empty shelves. Not at present. We have some great retailers. He added, I assume they pre-ordered. I think we'll see some elasticities. I think we'll see replacements. And then we will see how quickly the Chinese want to de-escalate. A respondent in the ISM's latest manufacturing survey wrote, let me get this real quick. I want to Google this for my own edification. What countries does America import food from? That's not what I'm trying to ask. What countries does America import? Mexico, Canada, France, Italy, Singapore. That's why this was so. That's why these tensions were a little bit higher. But then he he dropped it because he realized if we do that shit, the famine gonna come quicker. Knowing that China's not really sending us no food, they more send us supplies and stuff like that, materials. Right? They saying, hey, as it always says, man, as they always say, peace and safety, man, peace and safety. They're not concerned with it now until it's an actual concern. As if it can't blow up and become bigger than what it worse than what it is. Uncertainty over tariffs is providing a big challenge from both tier one suppliers. I'm gonna go ahead and skip this. Let me see. I'm gonna skim it real quick. Let me go ahead and read it real quick. We already at the end. Uncertainty over tariffs is providing a big challenge from both tier one suppliers. Tier one suppliers, we will have to pay tariffs on directly, and tier two suppliers that will try to pass tariffs through to us in the form of price increases and tariff surcharges. Tariffs impacting operations, specifically delayed border crossings and duties calculations that are complex and not completely understood. Another said, as a result, we are potentially overpaying duties, unsure of potential drawbacks. Implementation of tariffs and their application is sudden and abrupt. The business is taking countermeasures. Ryan Young, senior economist at the Competitive Enterprise Institute. Tariff-related shipping slowdowns will cause a regional cascade affecting the U.S. A little like when the C video first hit. It will first be visible in West Coast ports, which have the fastest shipping times from Asia. After that, it will spread to Gulf ports like Houston, which take a little longer to reach than East Coast ports from the Carolinas up to New England. What happens next? The administration has expressed optimism that it can reach a deal with China soon, after which the tariff rates will come down significantly, while Beijing has denied having any firm intention to engage in trade negotiations. Beijing has described the current situation as unsustainable from the Chinese side. Hey man, our people are consuming folly. They ain't gonna keep up with the things that's going on in the news. I'm gonna go ahead and get this real quick and close it off there. This is Second Ezra 6:22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound which, when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Hmm. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. Call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem. Kahakudash. Double blessing and honors to your apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom. And as always, one day close to the kingdom, man. Shalom. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching as well, man. So once again, Shalom. Keep pushing, man. Keep pushing.